Okay, we are here live, and this is the Midweek Report, June 24th, 2020. Just wanted to cover a few things that have been going on in the boxing scene over the past few days. This includes what happened at the bubble, quote unquote, in Las Vegas, particularly the main event. That was fairly interesting, to say the least, as we saw an upset of sorts in the main event. That was, that was something, to say the least, as you had Andrew Maloney facing Joshua Franco in the main event for the WBA regular super flyweight championship, as the super champion is Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. But you had Andrew Maloney there. He, was the undefeated champion going in, and you had Franco there as the underdog. Pretty much was coming there. Yeah, I guess that a few people felt that he was just going to show up and just do a little thing here and there, and then eventually Andrew Maloney would get the win. Joshua Franco came in there with a record of 16 wins, 1 loss, and 2 draws. As you had Andrew Maloney there as the undefeated super flyweight champion, 21-0. But for me, I just didn't really think that he was very impressive, to say the least. Yes, he did have wins over the likes of Miguel Gonzalez, Luis Concepcion, but he, had been named the interim champion at the end of 2019. So this was kind of like his first fight. His first fight with that championship, going up against Joshua Franco, like I said, who was like 16-1-2. And, I just felt that, he was not that impressive at all going into this particular fight. And, I was seeing those first few rounds of the fight, and, Maloney was just there basically 1-2, 1-2, standing right in front of his opponent. 1-2, 1-2, not giving Joshua Franco different looks, and was open to the right hand early and often. And Franco was able to take advantage of that over the course of this fight, and was able to break down Andrew Maloney. And Andrew Maloney should have been able to try to box against Joshua Franco, but didn't actually carry that particular plan against Franco. And, with that being said, he, ended up getting beat down a little bit, broken down, particularly in the tail end of this particular fight. The second half of the fight, man, it was just, to me, it was all Franco, man. He was just breaking down Andrew Maloney. Those right hands were coming in like bam. And then there were a couple of times where he was throwing in the right uppercut, and that right uppercut was like real damaging to Andrew Maloney. And that kind of like pretty much turned the fight over to Franco's favor. And then in the 11th round, the beatdown that was happening was too much. Therefore, Andrew Maloney, he had to go down to the canvas in the 11th round. I thought that, Franco would have been able to finish him. It's just that Maloney was, kind of like going off of his back foot. He was trying to jab and go off his back foot, but he was more trying to get away from Joshua Franco. Franco really didn't do much to try to cut off the ring and get Maloney cornered and then break him down some more and then come over the top with the right hand. Like I said, that right hand was really doing damage to Andrew Maloney in the second half of the particular fight. And then 12th round was still a little bit more of Franco in that particular round. And he was able to, finish that out. And he ended up getting a unanimous decision win there to become the WBA regular super flyweight champion with scores of 115, 112 from Julie Lederman and 2 scores of 114 to 113 from Patricia Jarman and Dave Moretti. So that knockdown was the difference in that fight. Otherwise, it would have been a majority draw. There would have been one score of 115 to 113, and then 2 scores of 114, 114. If he didn't score that knockdown in round 11, man, that was something there that turned the fight over to Franco's favor. But I just felt that there was nothing really impressive coming from Andrew Maloney in this particular fight. Like he had to do something to stand out, and he didn't necessarily do that. And that just, made Franco be more and more confident. There was just nothing that Maloney did that seriously made Franco go on his back foot or, not be able to just be in close quarters with Andrew Maloney. So, this is a definite setback for Maloney. First loss of his pro career. I think this was supposed to be his, his first fight in the United States. He and his brother were featured or feature bouts on the Top Rank on ESPN card. This one here on Tuesday, and then his brother is coming up on Thursday. But here with his fight against Joshua Franco, he was just not really ready or prepared for what Joshua Franco had in this particular fight. I think this one here goes into, the likes of when Mike Plania defeated Josh Greer Jr. In that main event on that previous week. So we've had a couple of upsets in the main events on, these cards. You did have a, pretty much a bad decision with that Giovanni Santillan fight there against Antonio DeMarco. You had a foul-filled fest there with Jesse Magdaleno in his fight. Of course, you had Shakur Stevenson featured in one bout. You had, Emmanuel Navarrete featured in a bout over in Mexico. So we've had, a few things happen here, so to speak, in reference to these top-ranked cards. I think, I see that these numbers, viewing numbers for these cards stay around that 325,000 range. This one here averaged around 310,000, peaked at about 390,000 viewers. I would say that you had pretty much around that same number for Navarrete Lopez. Actually, I was fairly surprised about that one. Navarrete Lopez averaged at around 327,000 viewers, given that fight card started at 11 p.m. Eastern time. So It started at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The main event didn't jump off until about 1, maybe 1:15. Um, so that kind of was surprising there that they would, start that so late. But that's kind of how they're doing things here so far until more of these safety protocols are kind of like taken away a little bit. But for the time being, this is what we got right now. So, like I said, with that fight that you had with Andrew Maloney losing to Joshua Franco in that main event, that was kind of an upset, so to speak. But like I was saying before, I hadn't been really too impressed with Andrew Maloney, and this kind of like summarized it, that he was not really the goods, and he just couldn't deal with someone that gave constant pressure like Joshua Franco did, and didn't really have good defense at all. Being open to the right hand a lot, was kind of like set up by a right hand lead right to the body. Because I saw that, is that was what set up that knockdown in the 11th round to me, was Franco setting up with that lead right hand to the body, went down to the body, and then came upstairs, down to the body, and then came upstairs again. And he was just doing that, like right to the body, left upstairs, and then over the top with the right hand. And once he did that over the top with the right hand, he did follow up with the left that really rocked Maloney. And then the part of Fleury was able to take Maloney down there for that count. And it was just a really bruising fight for Andrew Maloney in that particular case. So that's what you ended up have happened in that particular bout. This was something to the point where when I'm talking about Maloney, it looked like he was just not completely in this particular bout. I mean, it's almost like they kind of like enjoyed being around the Las Vegas area too much, So Andrew Maloney, like I said, ends up losing. Jason Maloney will face Leonardo Baez tomorrow in a 10-round bout. That fight card will start at about 8 p.m. Eastern time there. So going to be looking out for that as well. I did talk about the co-feature bout that will be happening tomorrow, as you'll have the junior lightweight fight between Abraham Nova and Avery Sparrow. That is going to be a fairly tactical bout between two fighters there that want to get themselves in the next step in that junior lightweight division. So that's something that I'm kind of like looking forward to, is those two guys battling it out on Thursday. So that's part of one thing that they want to talk about. There has been other news that has been floating around during the course of the day, in particular with one fighter by the name of Boots Ennis. So hopefully I could have someone on here to talk about that a little bit. There was also things going on over the past couple of days in reference to Ryan Garcia. Oh man, like what is up with this thing with Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy Promotions? And I don't know. Um, they they trying to say now that uh, a bout was being talked about between Ryan Garcia and Javier Fortuna, but they're saying like Garcia's camp didn't want it, and I'm like, Garcia is not the type of guy that would pass down on the fight, particularly something of that magnitude where you could have Javier Fortuna there as the number one contender, is there, as the mandatory for the WBC lightweight title. So you would have Ryan Garcia put in a position to where he could be the number one contender for the WBC lightweight championship. And you're thinking that he would pass that up? Nah, I ain't seeing that. So I do have, that I wanted to see if I could go into that a little bit with a few people if they are able to join in. And also the thing with Jerron Boots Enos, because that has been one topic that has been fairly interesting to say the least when it comes to certain people that are involved with Jerron Boots Enos. So yeah, I do want to talk about that a little bit. You do also have that news of the WBO super featherweight champion Jamel Herring was scheduled to fight on July 2nd to defend his title, his WBO title, but was not able to do that. Was not able to do that because of him testing positive for COVID-19. He did announce that on his social media pages. But that fight that he has scheduled will be moved. So you will be seeing Jamel Herring in the ring fairly soon. He will, get back into it. I think it will be a couple of weeks later. So that's what they have there, up to this particular point, is that he'll get himself back into the ring a couple of weeks later. I think it'll be around either, July 18th. They may, have him rescheduled for that bout. But in his place will be the fight that would have been scheduled for last week. And that is the Mikel Lespierre fight, with him going up against Jose Pedraza. Originally, that was supposed to be scheduled, but a member of Mikel Lespierre's team tested positive for COVID-19. So that's why that bout got scrapped as the main event. And we had the Gabriel Flores Jr. versus Jose Ruiz fight be elevated to the main event for that one. So that's what we have so far. But yeah, this thing here, I wanted to see about what what this person in a certain network was talking about, because I kind of said that kind of have a little bit of a hate relationship with this particular person. I've been known to kind of call out this particular individual that is involved with the network. But it seems like they try to match Boots Enos up in a potential fight against another fighter that is now campaigning in the welterweight division. And supposedly, it said that Jerron Boots Enos turned this down, or turn the fight down, or something like that. Well, that's not looking like it's the case. at all. So, particularly when there is dealing with someone that is fairly close to a person that I communicate with very often. So this story that's been going on during the course of the day, in reference to Jerron Boots Ennis is, kind of like been a little bit stretched to say the least. So that is something there that I'm kind of like trying to get more people to pitch in on. Also seeing something dropped in reference to Rougarou, Regis Progress. Seems like he's in a, maybe a little bit of talks about a fight with Shojahan Ergashev. Regis Progress, did recently call out Adrian Broner at 140 pounds. But with this thing here between Progress and Ergashev, you would have, Ergashev as, an undefeated, prospect there against Regis Progress, who had this close fight against Josh Taylor that lost by decision. So you could have Lou DiBella and Dimitri Salita work to make that fight happen. Just wanted to get in one guest on here right now. We have talks about various fights and various topics in boxing, but here he is. We got YSM Sports Media with us. What's going on?
What's good, Jay?
Yo, what's good, man? I'm trying to get into a little bit about what is happening with Jerron Boots Ennis. Seems like, man, I don't know what some of these, people in boxing are talking about. It's especially one quote unquote reporter in particular.
Oh my gosh! If you want to call him that, if that's what we're gonna classify, dude.
Hey, it's like I was saying. I think I said this in the podcast. Like he's almost getting to the level of what is it, Michael Benson or something like that. Like, I don't know, man. Like, yo, I don't know where that report came from, man.
Yo, so this is I find this odd, right? And then you have certain guys that like to run with just narratives, like if they don't like a network, if they don't like a promotional company, like they'll just run with whatever negative narrative and just like I'm talking about a guy named Charles Hill. But right, so what they're telling me is that Maurice Hooker is going to go up to 147.
Right.
And he couldn't get Regis Prograis. He's going to go up to 147 and challenge a 5'11", natural 147 pounder. Probably the most talented fighter in boxing. Switch hitter, undefeated, 22 years old, and who's very, very big at that weight. Brothers, one is a super middleweight, the other one's a middleweight. Pop was a middleweight. So you're going to challenge him at your first fight at 147 after getting decapitated at 140. I'm supposed to believe that? In no world does that make sense, Joe.
Well, I mean, for me, well, I mean, we've kind of said, going into, the reasons why Maurice Hooker is not able to fight Regis Prograis. Whether it's that disagreement on a catch weight or a disagreement on money, but when it comes to the thing with the weight, like Maurice Hooker is not going to be very comfortable coming down from a 166 to 168 the fight at 147 against, any fighter that's really used to like coming down to 147 and it's very comfortable at that weight, height wise, speed and power. And Jaron Ennis pretty much has all of that. So why would a Maurice Hooker try to get into the ring with someone of that caliber? That's not a good look.
Coming off of a loss, coming off of getting his block knocked off in the first round. Well, mind you, I'm supposed to believe that. Now, Boots came out and said that it was bullshit. If they want to make a fight, that they should hit up Showtime. That leads me to believe that he may have an exclusive deal with Showtime. That's what Bomax seems to think. But I talked to his team probably like a couple of hours ago. They said that they talking bullshit. That they're not ducking nothing.
Right. I see that they would be, open to that fight. No problem.
That's easy work, yo.
Yeah. But it's about, trying to set up the, right specifics as far as like date and finances. So I'm like, if they could have all of that, all in a row, then I would be like, yeah, no problem. Let's get this done.
So
let's get this done.
So let me guess, right? And this is, and I know you understand this because you're in the business, right? And you don't really have an agenda. So you know that promoters and managers clout chase all the time, right? They like to push certain narratives. And they use certain outlets to push certain narratives. Okay, so I could offer you bullshit money and say, oh yeah, they turned down the fight. They don't want to fight us. Oh yeah, they're ducking. Everybody runs with it. They could have offered bullshit money, bullshit circumstances, or a fight on a network that you know and they know that you can't fight at. I'm sorry. Maurice Hooker ain't the dude for Jaron Ennis to be scared of, yo. That shit is super easy work. And I'm Jamil Parker, YSM Sports Media. You can hold me to that. I don't care. That shit is super easy work. Super easy. I'm talking about whitewash, landslide.
Like, the thing is with Hooker.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't have that dude winning one round, bro. Not one.
Like the thing with Hooker, man, is that, even though he was able to win a world title at super lightweight, other than that Saito fight, like what has Hooker been able to do that's been, all that impressive? He did have that fight against Mikel Lespierre. That was a defense there, but that was pretty much a clear unanimous decision win. But other than that, he hadn't done all too much against Uriel Perez. That wasn't even much of a fight against Uriel Perez. So like I just don't see like what it is about Maurice Hooker that's all too impressive. Like for him to come down at as a 5'11" guy to be there at super lightweight, he already had to cut down a little bit in order to get down to that weight. So now it's like, okay, now you're gonna try to do something at 147 where you don't really have much of a position to, kind of like do much of anything there. And, going up against somebody like a Boots Ennis, that wouldn't be a good look. Somebody like even a Sergey Lipinets, that wouldn't be a good look. Like, I really don't know what Maurice Hooker could do at 147 right now.
Get knocked out.
basically get knocked out of stock, man. Like, um, what is it, man? Like, like he could fight. What is it? Kavaliauskas. And I mean,
Get
who knows
knocked
if
out.
yeah, or Abdul Kakarov. I mean, and like I'm just naming names on this thing for 147, like Josecito Lopez. Like I said, Sergey Lipin, yes, stop
Get
him.
knocked out. Get knocked out.
Hey,
Get knocked out.
maybe he could fight Sebastian Formella. He might have a chance there.
Yo, man. I know I'm a little bit more agitated than I normally am, but this situation definitely has me upset. It's because folks, it's like they look for the next guy. They look for chinks in his armor unless he's with certain promotional outfits. It's like I'm sitting there arguing with a dude, and he's swearing up and down that Jerome Boots Ennis is with Al Heyman, and Al Heyman turned down the fight. It's like, do y'all do your homework before y'all start talking shit?
Like the thing with Al Heyman is, it's like, listen, if people go directly to the fighter and the fighter says that, yeah, if they want to go ahead and go for, if they actually want to fight me, then yeah, let's do it. Then that's what it is. Why would you want to go to a advisor or manager if the fighter themselves say they want that smoke?
Well, okay, so in certain situations that legally you have to go through the advisor or the manager,
Right.
that the fighter
Yeah.
can't agree to anything. And then that's all in whatever your paperwork's at. So I don't know what some of these guys' contracts say. I know all Al Heyman fighters that they can't negotiate for themselves. Both they can't sign anything, nor can they verbally agree to any situation.
Yeah. But the thing is like when you have other people, or like reporters say like a certain fighter doesn't want the fight,
Come on.
but they don't go directly to that fighter, then that's a problem.
Yeah, you're right about that, bro.
Because like you're saying, it's like all these fans or whoever are claiming that these fighters are ducking, but don't get the direct words from those fighters themselves. That's why, like with this particular instance, it's like, yo, like Ennis is like, whoa, what is this talk about? Me ducking Maurice Hooker? What? Like, it's kind of like the same thing I was saying earlier, reference to Ryan Garcia in a potential fight against Javier Fortuna, and them saying like the team didn't want that fight. I'm like, that's hard for me to believe, man. Hard for me to believe that.
That who didn't want the fight, Ryan or Fortuna?
Ryan.
All right, so another thing people got to realize is that promoters and managers already have plans. So just because a fight gets offered doesn't mean a promoter or a manager is going to scrap them plans. This a perfect example, right? Sergey Deferenchenko turned down Canelo Alvarez. You remember that?
Yeah.
And that was over money. I don't think anybody thought Sergey Deferenchenko was scared. But if the going rate for a Canelo fight is $10 million and you're offering me $6, would I look stupid to you? The price is the price. If it's 10, I want 10. It's just that simple, Jay. I'm agitated tonight, man. These dudes got me pissed.
Oh man, I see. We got another one on here from the rumor report. It is the president of the Deontay Wilder fan club, or
Yo, don't mention
yeah,
Deontay
yeah.
Wilder, please. Not yet. Not now. Nah, please.
He can't do it. He can't do it this week.
I heard his name was Shake something. I heard that's what Wilder's new name is, not the bronze bomber. Shake something.
Hey man, Wilder's new name is Pop That Pussy for a Real Nigga. That boy was I don't know what he was doing, man.
He might have. I was trying to tell y'all he might have been stripping before boxing. I'm saying it's good money in that. You know the chicks got all the jobs. It might be good bread in that.
This is true. he had to support his daughter somehow.
Right? Hey, man.
Oh man. Yeah, we talking about this thing here with Mike Coppinger, man. Like,
I told you, JR, how many times I gotta tell you these media people are henchmen for these networks and promoters. That's all it is. So Maurice Hooker was signed to fight Regis Prograis, right? Now all of a sudden Maurice Hooker can't make weight, so he wants to move it to this weight. Then he wants to move it up to this weight. Fights off. All you're hearing is how Prograis and Hooker is not happening. But then, lo and behold, Mike Coppinger gets a message from Eddie on WhatsApp. Hey, Mike, you mind posting this, mate? Because the heat is on us right now. I want to distract people from what's really going on. And here's Mike Coppinger. Well, can I just put source and put it out there? Of course, no problem. Now, all of a sudden, Jaron Boots Ennis is turning down a fight to fight Maurice Hooker. But I thought they were negotiating with Prograis the whole time. So the Prograis fight was never really happening, is what you're telling us now? Because it can't be both. Somebody lying.
My thing is this: did you even reach out to Boots? Did you reach out to Cameron Duncan?
Boots reached out to him. Boots was like, "You capping?
Yeah,
you are capping."
I'm saying before
be on the zone. That's what I need to know. Why does every fight have to be on the zone?
Exactly.
No subscriber base. They're not paying big bucks anymore, according to them. Those were their words. So what incentive does Ennis have to leave Showtime and go to the zone when Showtime has been there with him from the beginning?
Bro, I don't even understand the logic of moving Hooker up to face Boots enough to where as though I think they're serious.
Yeah, I don't think Hooker wants that problem.
Nah, he ain't serious, man. Like I said, I'm like, look, the problem with Hooker was from the beginning is that we kind of talked about it. We said he was there 168. He was there with his kids. He was eating good in the neighborhood. He's like, I can't get down to 143. So he's like, yo, let me see if I can do something at 147. And the whole thing with Regis Prograis fell apart. So now, he's trying to save face and say that he wants to do something at 147. So they're like, oh, let's say we wanted to have a fight with Bruce Ennis. Nah, man, you didn't want to do that. You didn't want to do none of that. You just try to pick a name that may have been big enough for people to say, oh, he wanted to actually fight this guy instead of fighting Regis Prograis.
Exactly.
Nah, man.
They're pulling Terrence Crawford 101. And it's funny that they got the same fucking trainer. They're gonna name all the guys that you know. They're gonna name all the guys that you know they're not gonna fight. Okay? And then they're gonna settle on somebody that's trash. So please expect this guy to fight he'll fight Michael Zarafa, something like that.
That's a dangerous fight.
He's gonna fight somebody that we don't care about.
I can go low.
Exactly. It was already last week that Boots Ennis announced that his next fight is finalized already. He's going to be making an announcement soon. That was last
he's already
week.
in. Yo, Matt, he's already in camp.
Yeah. So why are they acting like this was a real thing?
It's because if Boots was signed to Bob, if Boots was signed to Eddie, then it would be cool. They, for some reason, and you saw this, these dumb asses think that Boots is signed to Al, and that's why he's getting the shit. And I'm like, what the? Not signed to Al Heyman.
Yeah,
His
man.
brother is. His brother signed to Al Heyman. He's not.
And he probably wants to be signed to Al Heyman, but his original promoter is the same guy that's still getting 8% from Terrence Crawford, Chris Middendorf. Okay, so this guy is stuck in a true slave contract where he can't make any moves without giving this guy a percentage of his money. And he's still in court between Middendorf and Duncan. They're fighting over who gets the 20% of Boots Ennis' purse. Okay, that's what they're fighting over in court. Every purse that he gets, 20% is taken out and put into escrow. And then once they rule on who the promoter is, then they get the 20%. So it's not like Boots is in this great position where he could just be turning down any fight. I just don't think that it was realistic.
Nah, it wasn't realistic at all, man. They were just, like I said, they were just trying to, clean things up for him and whatnot. And this one here is just gonna end up with a lot of egg on the face of Maurice Hooker, man. That's basically what it is, man.
And then you got fucking Bomac on Facebook. First of all, you're a fucking manager. Get the fuck off Facebook, Bomac. You got Bomac on Facebook. You got Bomac on Facebook in group comments talking about, oh no, it was his manager that turned it down, blah, 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 blah. Hey, Bomac, you know that Ennis is with Chris Middendorf because your dumbass let Terrence Crawford sign with Middendorf in 2010. So you already know what the deal is, okay, Bomac? Don't play stupid. Don't play stupid. You know what's going on, man. And by the way, Terrence Crawford probably has the worst contract in all of boxing. Ridiculous.
Well, he's the one that renewed the contract, man. He's the one that renewed it. So
and the funny thing is, as long as he's with Top Rank, he has to give Middendorf 8%. So I don't understand why he should renew his contract.
Oh God!
I think Bob is paying that.
8% of the purse, 8% of the gate.
What?
They got to give it up.
Wait, they get
8% of everything.
Wow.
Everything.
Yeah, all across the board, yeah.
Because I remember in April of last year, he filed a lawsuit and won a lawsuit against Top Rank because they didn't give him the 8% out of Crawford's earnings. So that's probably why Terrence Crawford ain't trying to take no pay cut, because his money is divided up so much. He got a cash money contract. So he's gonna, he can't afford no pay cut. He can't afford that.
Yo, that money come out different when baby divides the pie.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey Jay, that's what Push told Drake, man.
Oh man. So that whole thing is a whole mess there with Crawford and how his contract is.
Money contract.
Yeah, the cash money special, buddy. That's what it is. Yeah. The cash money.
And the funny thing is, you don't hear shit about Chris Middendorf. So he's not even out there promoting. He's not out there working. He just collected these checks.
Yeah, he's just sitting back collecting checks.
Yeah, he just collected checks.
Oh shit! Damn, man.
He should be the biggest promoter in boxing because he had Crawford and Ennis. Like, come on. You had two guys who are considered to be like two of the most talented fighters in the whole world.
Fuck, yo. Yo, I just see this thing on the Sports Wire. Alvarez is out.
What?
That fight with Joe Smith.
Wow. What he got hurt?
Shoulder
he got
injury.
Coronavirus?
Nah, man. Shoulder injury, man. Well, like it would really matter to you. You would say that he would still fight. Hey, wait a minute.
You damn right. You damn right.
Check it. Yo, check it. We got two folks on here that have gone back and forth with Charles Hill on the same day.
Yo.
Look, because Charles is full of crap. He's full of crap, man. Like, yo, anything that's dealing with the Bomac stable, Charles Hill is defending it. I think him and Bomac, they got to be best of friends or something. It's something going on because there's no way. First of all, he's defending Hooker dropping out of the Prograis fight, and now he's trying to make it seem like Boots Ennis, of all people, is ducking smoke from fucking Maurice Hooker. Maurice Hooker? Like, come on. Like, what are we talking about? Maurice Hooker is not a world beater. This dude got knocked out at 140. This dude has all these draws on his record. He's gotten decisions that he didn't deserve, and he kills himself to even be in the 140s because he be on that Tank Davis, Adrian Broner diet, and we're gonna pretend like Maurice Hooker is now the boogeyman entering at 147. Come on, man.
Like he ain't really been that dude at 140 to come up and say that he can make noise at 147, man. Like, come on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the only hook I acknowledge is Stormy Daniels. That's it.
Oh no. You probably got a book. You probably got a book laying on the table in your living room.
Yes.
Oh man.
Exactly. Listen, like she said, your boy Trump lies about the size of everything.
Hey, hold on! Don't make me call up Nate again. No, I'm just kidding.
Yo. Maurice Hooker, though, yo.
Maurice Hooker, though,
yo.
Maurice Hooker. Is that what we got? Maurice Hooker?
It's the Philly in me that feels disrespected that they trying to use Maurice Hooker.
Yeah.
It's like, you give me somebody talented. If you want to say Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, I'll be like, all right, okay, maybe young boy, maybe his pop don't think he ready yet.
You ready?
They want to give it a year or two. He's 22 years old. He's a kid. But Maurice Hooker, though, bro.
He's gonna be.
Maurice Hooker can't beat Ray Robinson at 147.
He probably could beat Ray Robinson.
Exactly. He can't beat Ray Robinson at 147. I can name about 30 to 40 welterweights that will beat Maurice Hooker, yo. Maurice Hooker was the only undefeated dude I ever seen with like 5 draws. I'm like, what are we doing? And they marketed him undefeated. Maurice Hooker, yo, he got 5 draws. Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, Jamil will be in the
I'm mad as shit.
Downtown Philadelphia, driving down Broad Street, talking about Maurice Hooker?
Maurice Hooker, though? It's disrespectful to any Philly dude that's ever put on the gloves or walked into a gym. Maurice Hooker? Yo, he got dish ragged by Ramirez, yo. You know what Boots would do to Ramirez?
Exactly.
Oh man!
Like, hey Jay, you gonna find out next week when you come, right? You will
Yeah.
find out next week. I promise you. Whatever you saw in those fights is nothing compared to what you'll see in that gym, yo. And I'm not hyping on nothing. Nothing. You will come back on this show and be like, yo, he's 10 times better than what I thought.
Yeah, man. I'm about to finalize the things up there now, man. To come up there, like I said, what is it gonna be? That July 3rd, and then 4th and 5th and whatnot. So yeah, I'll come up there and check out the scene, man. Because yeah, I know we got the stuff, man. It's just that you have to like actually be there though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
I just don't get Mike Coppinger. He was once considered he was once considered one of the bright young reporters in boxing, but he's just a bitch too. He's a continuation. He's a continuation of what we hate from the boxing media. Like what? I don't get it, man. I just don't get it, man.
hey, so is whatchamacallit there from ESPN around that same boat now?
Who,
Was it
Dan?
Steve Kim? No, Steve Kim. Oh, you don't want me to talk about Dan right now? Oh
Oh
no.
gosh. I hate Steve Kim. First of all, he's a racist. I don't have time for any racist people. Okay. I just don't. Mike Coppinger, he's not racist. He's just a creep though. He's a weirdo. He was
Yo, damn, man.
no, listen, when the Me Too movement hit boxing, Mike Coppinger getting taken out. I'm telling you that right now. That man is a creep. He was
God.
who's Duva's daughter, Kathy Duva's daughter, that he was trying to he was getting a little too creepy with, and she called his ass out. Please.
Oh yeah?
So he's trying to pull a Joe Biden?
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, yo. Wait. Real fast, I don't want to change the subject. When the chick had her finger out and Joe Biden licked it, I'm like, yo, what am I watching?
Hey, man, be like that.
What is going on here?
Listen,
I said, what is going on with this quagmire ass dude? Yo?
Listen, don't be talking about your future president like that, okay?
But this is all I can hear is, hey, it's the muscly on paper boy. Hey, there, muscly on. It's the paper boy. It's the muscly on paper boy.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, these guys are weirdos, man.
He's wearing the shorts with the deep pockets. Hey, there, muscly on. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man. What is going on here?
Oh, that's ridiculous, sir. Yeah, you gotta watch out for that Carpenter dude, man. That's not a good look, man.
No, it's not, man.
Oh,
But I'm still heated because Matt, I was completely oblivious. I was watching The Wire in my house. I was relaxing, looking at Omar running down on folks. Matt hit me up like, yo, man, Boots on Twitter getting into it. I go to look. He's like, yeah, Al Heyman turned down the fight.
I'm like, Al Heyman?
Al Heyman, what the fuck? Like, what did I miss?
yeah. That was just like, man, I don't know, like why they be coming up with some of these stories, man. But yeah, that one just took it for the day, boy. That one seriously took it for the day.
Terrible. Like, yo, the hot dog vendor can tell him something and he'll run with it and say sources said.
Yep.
It's like that's these new journalists protection. Now, JR, I have I have no journalistic background, right? I was an econ major in college.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't have their, I guess, their pedigree, but I do have credibility. I do have a standard. And if it's not a legitimate source, I'm not going to run with it.
Exactly. Like basically, Coppinger is like your girlfriend listening to all her bitch ass friends talk about you doing dirt. Bitch, you ain't see me do it. Why the fuck you listening to your funky ass friends? That's what somebody just start saying to Coppinger.
It sounds like you've been in. It sounds like you've been in that situation.
Absolutely. I mean, I was really doing it too.
I know you was really doing it. I know you was really doing it.
But I was still offended that you would believe somebody over me. It don't matter if I was really doing it. How dare you? That's how low.
Yeah, you didn't come to me. That's the
exactly. Yeah, Coppinger and Eddie, man.
No, man, like, hey, you've been saying the thing with news, man. It doesn't. You could just create something out of the blue and say a source told me that, and be like, yeah, who's your source? Some guy over there on 43rd Street and 29th Avenue. That
Come on, man.
Oh, goodness.
And the sources protect them from being liable because it is a source. Like, they didn't tell you it was anything legitimate, or like, yo, it's frustrating because this guy has burned him, Chris Mannix, Michael Benson has burned YouTubers for like the last 3 to 4 years, man, with just false stories.
Yep.
And let's not forget, Chris Mannix is the one who claims that Adrian Broner,
oh my God,
and Javante Davis outside of Canelo's locker room, and there was this big explosive punch, and they got arrested.
And I ran. Did you know I ran with that? That was I was just starting out. I ran with it, trusting that because he was with Sports Illustrated, that he properly vetted the source and the information. I was wrong.
Yeah, and think about it this way: a lot of boxing fans are not going to do the research that you would do as someone trying to break into the business. So a lot of boxing fans just take what these guys say at face value, which is why it pisses me off that these guys are serving as the henchmen of these promoters and networks.
And yeah, but I mean that type of stuff has been going on for a good little minute, though. You know, I mean we've seen it with ESPN a lot. We've seen it with HBO a lot. So, like, it's not new. It's not new for me in reference to that. You know, it's just that now it's kind of gotten even more ridiculous. And with it being social media, anything that you kind of like say, it doesn't really take that much for people to actually go to the fighters and say, "Hey, what's going on with this?" And they'll be like, "What? They said something about this on me? Nah. That's why, like, the thing with Ennis, he's like, what are you talking about, man? Like, can't do that."
Yep. These reporters need to understand that anything you tweet is now a report.
Yep.
Anything you tweet is a report now.
Yep.
But seeing how media likes to bullshit people, do you now admit, JR, that the $50 million offer was real?
You mess with me. You mess with Jamil and I were talking about. And it was a trap. Oh boy. What else was it? I thought I saw something about someone departing with Lou DiBella.
Oh, Derevenchenko.
Yeah, Derevenchenko, yeah. Like, he split with DiBella here recently. I don't know if he gonna end up with that Canelo fight. Man, Dimitri Bivol trying to get himself for that Canelo fight. Like, come on, Bivol, stop it. Stop it, man.
Bivol be killing me, yo. Killing me. I was like, bro, worried about fighting a legit 175 pounder. All you heard from him like the last 2 years is Canelo, Canelo, Canelo. I want to hear better beef.
Nope. You won't mention that name. And shoot, this thing here with Alvarez, man, I'm like, yo, if Alvarez didn't get hurt and he was able to go forward with that fight with Joe Smith, I'd be like, man, put him up there against Bivol. I'm like, I don't see Bivol winning that fight. I don't see it. So,
Man, I'm sick of hearing about Bivol, man. If he was really about that life, he would have went to Top Rank when Top Rank had control over all of the light heavyweights.
yep.
He was the only one that decided to sign with the Zone. So I don't want to hear about him. I don't want to. Why isn't he fighting a Callum Smith? Why isn't he meeting Andrade at 168? Why isn't he in the running to fight Golovkin? You know, everybody want to get that Canelo payday. Everybody want that Canelo clout. There are so many guys that the Zone has from 160 to 175. Why aren't they matched with each other?
All right, yo, I'm gonna say this, right? If Defranchenko gets the Canelo Alvarez fight, it means two things. Number one, Keith Connolly's the best manager in boxing.
He probably is.
And number
Well,
two,
the best non-Al Heyman guy.
well, I don't know what Al Heyman is, but it damn sure ain't no manager. I don't know what he is. Overlord. You get there's a bunch of different. But and then if I'm with the Zone and I'm 160 to 175 pounder, I want out of my contract. Because how is it that this dude from PBC is always getting the big fights at the Zone, but I signed with you and I'm not getting shit?
Well, they're going to be out of their contracts pretty soon because I don't think this is going to last in the United States of America.
See, I hope it lasts because it's good for boxing. The more cards, the inflated paydays. I like fighters getting paid. I like there being multiple options.
But to me, if the Zone leaves, somebody else will come in. Just like HBO. HBO's gone. HBO's gone. Listen, I don't miss Jim Lampley. I don't miss that old curmudgeon Larry Merchant.
Hey, yo.
You know?
Yo. Manny lists he'll miss 5 punches in a row, right? Hard left hand by Pacquiao.
Hard right hand by Pacquiao.
Bang.
Bang.
Hey, wait, JR. Yeah. Pacquiao's a southpaw, Dre.
Yeah, Dre. He uses his left hand.
Yeah.
Like, it's just ridiculous, man.
Hey, yo.
I can't wait till Roy Jones replaces Timothy Bradley.
Oh my gosh, please.
His HBO contract is up in December, he said.
Please,
so
God.
Hopefully.
Like, I would have, like, come on, like, Tim Bradley makes me really miss Teddy Atlas doing commentary, man. Like, come on.
I got two.
It's like he's studying his fighter, and then he goes in there and he hits him with a hard right.
Yo, I'm gonna say this, man. Timothy Bradley says the most obvious shit in the history of life. Not boxing, not sports. Life. He is the Booger McFarlane of boxing.
Yep.
Timothy Bradley. Oh my God, I can't stand that guy.
Dre. He uses 2 feet.
It's like, yeah, you know, you're right, Dre. Deontay Wilder is a heavy puncher. Really?
Like, what?
Really, Tim? It's a good synopsis, bro.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Good observation there, Tim. Thanks, Dre. Oh my God, it's horrible, man. What else is out there? What? Somebody talking about Murat Gassiev. Like, is he ever gonna fight? Is he actually going to fight?
Who brought up Gassiev? Man, that shit is over, man.
Listen,
man.
Gassiev looks as fat as Andy Ruiz right now.
Oh,
the fuck is going on with him?
He like blowing up to like 240.
Yeah, the fuck is wrong with him?
Like what? Like how is he gonna move being at 240? It is what is he like 6'1"?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that ain't gonna work, man. Oh jeez. I'm just like waiting on seeing what's gonna happen once more of these fights come up, man. Because this whole thing with Top Rank, I'm sorry, man. It's tough to go through these things, man. It's tough. Although I did enjoy, like I said, I did enjoy that main event last night with Maloney.
Are you one of the 300,000 people that watches when it comes on?
Technically, no. Screw it up and say it. Technically, no. But yes, but seeing Andrew Maloney get broken down in that fight last night, me and Jamil were talking about it. I was like, whoa, he's getting busted up, yo.
He got beat badly. He had cuts on the inside of his mouth. He had 2 cut eardrums. Face was all busted up. He was throwing up after the fight, but somehow he won 6 rounds. What?
Yeah. How? Like two judges gave him 6 rounds. Like, wait, what? Like, come on.
We sitting here, right? And JR called it first. Because I'm watching the fight, but not watching it. I'm like, yo, Maloney don't look like nothing special. And JR come out of nowhere. It was like, yo, he kind of getting his ass kicked right now. So I start to watch it a little bit more intently. And Maloney kept like when Franco would throw a combination, Maloney kept like he put up his guard, but he would like lean forward. And Jay like, so you just want him to hit you with an uppercut?
Right into the uppercut.
Right into the uppercut. Yo. He couldn't miss. Now, he did show me something when he got out in that 11th round, though, because he looked like he was toast.
Yeah. Well, it's like we were saying, man. Franco just didn't know how to cut off the ring. He could have busted him up and had that fight stopped easily. As I said, like even before he was able to score the knockdown, I was like, he kind of like abandoned the uppercut for like 2 rounds straight. I was like, man, that uppercut's there for you all day. Just like that right hand was available for him all day. But he just switched it up and started throwing to Maloney's body, and Maloney just didn't have any answer for that. Nothing.
Yeah. It's good to see Maloney continuing the Australian tradition of blocking punches with your face.
Hey yo, that was a Rick pick, by the way. It was the invasion.
The Australian
invasion. Hey JR, you've been glazed.
Yeah, you've been glazed. I said, hey, so much for that invasion, Rick. I was like, yeah, sorry, buddy, but yeah, Andrew was not ready for this at all.
His ass whipped.
Hey, yo, he looked like Raphael before Casey Jones saved him in Ninja Turtles, yo. He was getting his ass whooped like that, yo.
Yep. I was like, man, geez, that was just horrible, man. Horrible. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got for this midweek report. Anything else from y'all, man?
Yeah, he was getting his ass whipped, Kenny. It was terrible. It was terrible.
It was terrible, Kenny. I mean, he was getting beat up bad.
Yo, wait. Christopher Diaz looked good.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw that.
Against who though?
The dude Sanchez, he can fight.
He's all right.
He can fight. One thing I do like is that these mid-tier and lower-end prospects, you're getting a look at them when before you wouldn't. Like I'm glad that the other guys are getting a crack at a major platform. It's good for the sport.
Well, that is true. Let's hope they could build into something because I can't take another one of these top-ranked cards, man. I can't watch this shit. Like,
last night was good. Last night was a good card.
I thought I was a hardcore boxing fan until these top-ranked cards started showing up. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, yo, what's on Netflix? I got HBO Max now. I don't need to watch this shit. I'm watching repeats of Oz. I'm good, man.
Yo, you ain't
watching the Wire repeats.
Yo, I'm sorry, yo. The Wire was on point. I'm going to restart them whole 5 seasons from scratch. I want to look at it.
I never watched The Wire. I'm gonna check it out. I keep hearing about it.
The Wire's maybe the best TV show of all time.
Oh, better than Power?
Way better than Power.
Yeah.
It's realistic. Power ain't realistic.
Oh. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. Because Power them went off to the left after, so. You
watch Snowfall, yo?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Matt, you wildin', yo.
Man, I've been watching old movies, man. I haven't been watching no TV shows. I've been watching Beverly Hills Cop, fucking all the Die Hards and shit.
That's a classic. Those are all classics. Well, wait, no, I gotta talk to you in your language, Matt. Dead ass. You gotta watch. You gotta watch Snowfall. That's the only way a New York dude to listen to you, JR. You gotta talk like them, yo.
Yeah, son. Dead ass. Watch Snowfall, B.
Dead ass, B.
No doubt. I'm gonna watch that shit.
Pause. No, but Miguel Contreras against the other prospect, that was a good fight.
Yeah, that was a good one. I want to see what this Robeisy Ramirez is gonna do in that rematch against the guy that whooped his ass his first fight.
Yo, yeah. I was there.
Yeah,
I was there that night. That was in Philly. Yo, the first punch ball through. Not Rosie Ramirez on his ass.
I was like, damn, you get knocked down off the first punch.
The first punch ball through. Damn. He welcomed them to professional boxing, yo.
I was like, goodness gracious, man. That was.
And Jay, Bull been talking spicy ever since, yo.
Yeah.
Don Gonzalez. He was like, my name's Adon because I'm a Don. Oh my God.
I hope he beats Ramirez again.
Yo, if he beats Ramirez again, you won't see Ramirez again.
No, that's it. If he beat Ramirez again, you got to pack that up. Oh yeah, I'm going to say this. How are they letting Carl Moretti's brother judge top-ranked fights? What the fuck is that, yo?
Oh yeah. We're talking about that yesterday.
What is that?
Dave Moretti's related to Carl Moretti?
Yes.
I never knew that. Holy shit. I never made that connection. Wow.
What is going on, yo?
And he's the one that's turning in these poor cards.
Oh, all the time.
He's the one that went against DeMarco, wasn't it?
Oh shoot!
Wow.
Damn, do I even have the
you sure they related?
In there.
I googled it to make sure. That's his brother.
Dave Moretti. Oh, they had that. He had it a draw. Like what? No, man. The other two scored it for Santion. So come on. Like how you? God damn, man. How you score that fight for Santion? Like there's no way. Oh, yeah, that was frustrating to me, man. That was frustrating because I was like, DeMarco was schooling the kid. And you saying that Santion won 6 rounds at least? I'm like, come on, man. Hey, yo. But yeah, I'm gonna close it out for this for the time being, man. Thank y'all for jumping on in here to chat for a little bit. We'll have the podcast for Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time live. And y'all check out YSM Sports Media on YouTube and check out the Room Report with Matthew Brown, man. But until next time, man, I'll catch y'all later, man. Peace.